in Washington, D.C., there is a feeling among US-India watchers that if India wants to reduce the trade deficit very quickly, then it must buy more crude oil, more LNG from the US. I got in touch with Mark Menezes, the President and CEO of US Energy Association, to find out more. What do you expect to be on the table when the two leaders meet, especially in terms of India buying more energy from the US?
Right. Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me and a chance to really talk about really this new dynamism, that we will see between President Trump and Modi in the upcoming meetings. And, it's going to be a building on a long-term relationship. I mean, these two men have a genuine fondness for one another. And if we go back to Trump 1, where, President Trump and Modi, they took the initiative then to establish a strategic energy partnership, which was comprehensive in scope, by the way. And at the time, you will remember, the U.S. was just really beginning to export LNG. We had been able to develop the facilities to export. And India was one of the first locations that U.S. LNG went. And what was interesting was that, these LNG facilities that we had been developing were expected, frankly, to go to other parts of Asia, not so much India. So it was really quite a dynamic surprise to see that we could help our partners, India, to provide that. So I would expect you to see a sort of a continuation of that, really, an acknowledgement of our past relationship. The importance of India in the region, the importance that energy plays in maintaining global security and economic prosperity. But importantly, too, India is going to need energy long term, right? It's one of the great countries that continue to increase population. Your current population needs energy. And as we talked about, whether it's U.S. LNG, whether it's U.S. technology in nuclear space, whether it's the latest technology on natural gas turbines, or how it is that you can build more renewables with natural gas, really to bring energy of all sorts, to India. So that's what we're excited about here in the upcoming meetings.
Do you expect the U.S. government to demand that India have more long-term LNG contracts and long-term crude oil contracts with the U.S. companies? Yeah, right. I mean, so that's the hope. We want a long-term relationship, right? It's important that these facilities, as India knows full well, because of your facilities that you have operating there, whether it's refineries or import facilities, these are highly capital facilities, that you need, and you need long-term offtake agreements. And it is important that, again, our partners across the world realize that your options for energy are well known, right? And U.S. has not necessarily been there for to be a partnership, right? Really until the shale revolution. And it turns out that due to technological improvements, and we got our policies in order to allow states to allow fracking, if you will, we really became the world's largest producer of both oil and natural gas. So now countries like India, before, who you had to pay a premium for Mideast oil or Mideast natural gas, or deal with other countries that you really had no choice as to who you were going to deal with, right? Well, now the U.S. is available as a partner, right? And I think that generally to have optionality, it's good for U.S., good for U.S. economy, good for business, good for long-term relationships. Right. But it's also good for pricing for the Indian consumers, because now you can either have long-term contracts, you also have the option for spot markets, because what we have seen really since the last time that we talked about this back during Trump 1, the natural gas global market has really evolved at the level almost like the oil market, where prices in the U.S., prices in India are set by the global price of where these commodities are traded. And now we're seeing that with natural gas. Right. So the consumers in India can benefit with more suppliers, more optionality. It's going to decrease prices, and it'll benefit our partnership.